Hello, freak bitches.
I just read this book about the making of the Panama Canal, and they talk about, when the French first tried to do it. They went in the late 19th century, and they, you got to think technology in the late 19th century. They didn't have fucking electricity. They didn't have shit.
Right.
They had giant machines, and they were trying to bulldoze a canal through the most dense tropical jungle that you could get through, and they lost something like 20% of the people that went down there died of malaria and yellow fever, which are both mosquito-borne diseases. So they go down there and they fight it out for like 10 years. They keep sending people down. They keep dying. Keep sending people down. Keep dying, and even if you don't die, you're working 14-hour days in jungle heat with a little spade. And then all of a sudden, they'd get a monster rain, and everything you'd excavated, there'd be a mudslide. It would fill it right up again. They'd start all over. Oh. There were snakes. There was fucking mountain lions. And they just finally gave up. Finally, France just went, fuck this. They had bled hundreds of millions of dollars. And so then the U.S. stepped in, and they go, we can do it. So we came in. And some guy had realized that mosquitoes were the problem. Like, nobody knew that malaria and yellow fever were mosquito-borne. For whatever reason, they just thought it was fucking popping out of the dirt. They thought it was like fumes coming out of the dirt. And this guy's like, no, it's fucking mosquitoes. So he came in with a team of like 10 people, and they just started educating people about how to get rid of mosquitoes, which is basically get rid of standing water. And so instead of having mud roads, they poured concrete, and instead of having open barrels that people would collect rainwater in, they would put sheets over them, and fucking gone.
That's it?
Like,
that's all they had to do to stop the mosquitoes?
All they had to do. There was no deaths from malaria and yellow fever after the first couple years they started construction.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So they just figured out a way to stop the mosquitoes from breeding without poison?
Without poison.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I would have thought they would just Agent Orange the fuck out of that place.
Nope. Just standing water.
Wow. Do you know malaria has killed half the people that have ever died ever?
No shit. Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Half the people that have ever died ever in the history of the human race have died from malaria.
And still unabated. No fucking cure.
My friend Justin's got it 3 times.
Really? Where does he live?
Well, he goes to the Congo. He makes wells for the pygmies.
Wow.
Yeah. Justin Wren.
But if you catch it and you take the pill right away, you're fine.
If you get the proper medication, you will be okay. But there's a bunch of different strains of malaria, and some of them last a long time. And he's had one strain where he got it, he recovered from it, and then he got sick. And because he got sick, the malaria came back. So he got an unrelated illness without being around the mosquitoes, and his malaria came back, and he had to figure it out. That the malaria had made a relapse. So he's had it 3 times. 2 times from being bitten, 1 time from a relapse.
So is malaria something that just stays with you for life?
I think with some cases, and not necessarily for life, but it can recur over the course of a certain amount of years, and then your body eventually gets over it. But he was saying that 1 case of malaria, you can have it for as much as 30 years.
Wow. And dying of it is about as painful as it gets.
Well,
your brain starts to fucking fry. You just go crazy. Your entire body feels like it's made of acid. It's brutal.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Man. Fuck.
And you think about how, third world, how, we're trying to do good in the world. Malaria is just number 1, 2, and 3 that we should be focusing on.
Yeah, there was some work that they were doing. God, I want to say somewhere around California, someone was doing it, where they were trying to figure out a way to engineer a mosquito that does not get malaria. And they were going to release that mosquito.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this. Right.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Well, I think it happened with the Zika virus.
Here it goes. Did malaria really kill half the people that ever lived? Get the facts. Did it?
It's a myth.
Oh, it is a myth.
It's definitely probably one of the biggest throughout human history, but to actually know the actual fact if it has killed that many people, it's probably not, because it would have had to have killed an average of 5.5 million per year. And for like the last 30 or 40 years, it's only about 2 to 3 million. So that
Well,
number.
that's pretty
But that's
close.
the last
So
like
it's,
30 or 40
shitload
years.
so it's at
people,
least
yeah.
20%.
Yeah.
So, but they don't know. So where does it come from? Does any site support that? This site tries to debunk it. We have to be
Yeah.
sure that they're not right, because I feel like I read it from a science paper, which might not necessarily look. We had Rod
Yeah.
Wolf the other day, and he thought that a vomitorium was
Sure.
really some. People make mistakes,
But it's
but it's killed fuckloads of people. It's just there's a lot of those goddamn diseases that scare the shit out of you. Like, remember when the Ebola craze happened and everybody was panicking that Ebola had made its way to the United
Right.
States? Remember that one lady? She was a nurse and she was in quarantine, and they tried to keep her in quarantine. She's like, "Fuck you, I'm going shopping." And they're like,
that's right.
remember that?
Yeah.
She's like, "Bitch, you're quarantined." She's
Well,
like, "I don't have it."
Well,
I
the
don't have it.
Zika thing is not under wraps. They've
No.
got it here. It's down in Florida, and I think that I know they were trying to genetically modify mosquitoes for Zika.
Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine, his wife got pregnant. He wouldn't let her go anywhere. It's like they were supposed to go to Hawaii or maybe Mexico or something like that.
Right.
They were like, "Fuck that.
Yeah.
We're not taking any chances. We're gonna stay right here while this kid's born."
Fuck yeah.
Because it's incurable, and your kid develops a tiny head.
Yeah.
It's a really creepy fucking.
And they don't even
disease.
know what else happens because
Yeah.
they're, the kids that are born from it are only a few years old at this
What a
point.
fucking crazy disease,
Yeah,
man.
it's so cruel, so horrible.
There's a guy named Pito Hortez that I interviewed once, and he was talking to me about it was for my sci-fi show that I did years back, and he was talking to me about jungle diseases, like people that have any sort of infestations of parasites and things like that in the jungle. And he said it is 100% of the people that live there.
They have them.
100% of the people that live there have something.
Yeah.
100%. I went 100%. He goes,
Does that mean they're
100%.
living with it or they're suffering from it?
They're living with it. I mean, they might be suffering from it. But one of them was this cat parasite, Toxoplasma. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah. Pregnant women are...
Yeah, it's super dangerous for women to handle cat shit because of it. You shouldn't touch a
Right.
litter box.
Or eat any vegetables in France because they don't... my wife went to France when she was pregnant, and they said that she couldn't eat cheese because they don't pasteurize it out correctly in France.
Well, it makes sense. They like that raw, stinky fucking cheese
Right.
down there. They love that stuff.
They love it.
But it's a weird one because it makes the rat, when a rat eats it, or a rat gets it in its body, a rat becomes sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine to the point where their dick gets hard and their balls swell up, and they go to find the cat, and the cat kills them, and then the cat relays it to people. And one of the things it does with people is it makes them reckless. So there's a guy named Dr. Robert Sapolsky out of Stanford who's done extensive research on Toxoplasma. He's a fucking fascinating guy. He's got some awesome speeches where he talks about it online. But one of the things they found when he was working in the ER is a direct correlation between Toxoplasma and motorcycle accidents. Like a lot of these people that
Really?
people that would come in and they would have motorcycle accidents. They would test them and they would find out they tested positive for toxo. 50 million people in America tested positive for Toxoplasma.
Really?
Yep, and it affects the way you think. It affects your judgment. It makes you more impulsive. It makes you more aggressive. And it might even affect women. It might make women more promiscuous, or at least make them more sexually submissive. They don't know. I mean, these are just complete total speculation. But they think it might be one of the reasons why some South American countries are very macho, and the women are very sexy.
So why do women with cats always live alone?
I don't think it's the same.
But-
Those cats never leave the house.
So if you don't have a cat, you can't catch this.
No, you can catch it. You can catch it from the meat of a cow that eats the cat shit
Oh.
in its grass. Like there's,
So you're
there's a bunch
saying
of different ways.
that
A lot of people
currently there's probably 50 million people in the country that have this.
Currently in America, there's 50 million people plus that are infected with this cat parasite called Toxoplasma.
Should you get tested for it?
No, I probably have it for sure. I'm scared. I don't want to get tested.
Because you have cats, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely. Joey Diaz has 150,000 fucking cats.
Yeah.
He's for sure got it. All those crazy
Wow.
cat ladies, I guarantee you they have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really common thing. I think in France at one point there was something like 30% of the population had toxo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real.
Well, we're
when
made
you
of-
have feral cats.
Is that a bacteria then?
It's a parasite. It's some
Yeah.
sort of a parasite that actually gets its way into your brain.
Because that's the crazy thing is I forget what percentage of your body weight is bacteria, but it's
nuts,
staggering.
Nuts, off
like
the chart.
15% of your body weight is bacteria.
Yeah, we're all
Can
ecosystems.
you look that up? See how full of shit I am?
First of all, find out how many people in America have Toxoplasma before we find that out.
Approximately 30 million.
30 million.
Wow.
It says it's the number. Hold on, let me pull it up.
See if write 50 million. See if how do I remember that wrong? Right, 50 million people in America have Toxoplasma.
20 of them died.
Oh my God. I don't think it kills you.
On motorcycles.
Unless you wreck motorcycles.
Right.
But Sapolsky was, he was studying its effects on people and trying to figure out, like, they don't really know what it does to people. There's just this correlation between motorcycle accidents.
Right.
That's another thing that says that up to 60 million people could have it. So
Okay.
Up
So
to
I didn't make
60
that up.
million people.
Just in America. Just in America. In other countries, like in some South American countries, it's very high. And, it might have been just something that people have been living with forever. There's some sort of a weird connection that we have to these organisms. And in this one, it rewires the sexual reward system of rodents. It changes their reward system. It makes their dick hard for cat piss so that they go near the cat so they get killed so they can transmit it to people because cats hang around with people.
Wow.
I mean, assuming that that's the chain of events.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Jesus.
Look at that. 1 to 3% of the body's mass in a 200-pound adult is 2 to 6 pounds of bacteria, but also play a vital role in human health. Wow. Human body contains trillions of microorganisms, outnumbering human cells by 10 to 1.
Damn.
What?
So 3% of the body's mass.
But they
Not 15.
outnumber human cells just because of the size. Because they're small size, however, the microorganisms make up only 1 to 3% of the body's mass. It doesn't make up as much of the mass, but you are outnumbered. Human cells are outnumbered 10 to 1. That's like if there's one rat for every person on a ship, and there's 10 people. Think of that. I mean, that's a fucking infested rat-filled ship.
Well, some of the bacteria is good.
Some of it is. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're mostly rats.
Yeah.
If you're like, what is that, a ship of people?
Yeah.
Well, there's some people on it.
Yeah. You're right.
It's mostly rats. I mean, it's mostly
It's
rats.
a fucking rat ship.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
I mean, if you had 100 people and 1,000 rats on a ship, would you say that's a ship full of people or a ship full of rats? It's a ship full of rats and a bunch of poor fuckers trying to get some sleep.
Yeah, we're just bags of bacteria.
We're bags of bacteria.
And we don't understand a lot of it. Because
No.
it's so fucking small and it's mysterious.